When we talk about the world's top business schools, sometimes we refer to the M7, a loosely based term to describe schools from the east to west coast, but surely we should consider the M8. And if we did, I think we'd want to put Berkeley Haas on that list. When people think about business school, for some, the general management education that they get, Haas is really a school, I think, that stands out for its value system. For years now, they've talked about 4 pillars: to question the status quo, to have confidence without attitude, to be a student always, and to go beyond yourself. And I'm delighted to welcome Patricia Sliva, who's from the class of 2016. Patricia, thank you very much for joining us at the CentreCourt Festival.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Now, of course, your undergrad that you completed in Lisbon at the Instituto Superior Técnico, you've always had this focus on renewables. You've been involved in the construction industry, across real estate, and it's a career that took you from Poland to São Paulo, obviously the career that you built in Portugal. What then led you to consider going to business school on the West Coast?
So that's a great question. I have a number of reasons why I selected Berkeley Haas specifically. But to start with the business school experience that I wanted to have, I was looking to, let's say, upgrade my career faster. The type of roles I had before were very technical in engineering, in consulting, in management, but still very technical. And I realized that if I want to have a bigger impact in the projects I worked with, I would need to climb up the ladder, which takes time, if I stayed where I was at. And I realized that business school would help me have that impact that I wanted, like work with projects at a higher level, given the experience I could have with learning about management and people, not only management. If I did an MBA, if I continued a technical career, that would take way longer, and I don't think I would get the skills you need, the management skills as well, that you need, the interactions you need with people as well, that fast. Why the West Coast specifically Haas? Well, I definitely noticed that there was like the environment that you had at Berkeley Haas with the defining principles that I was reading about. The people I was talking, because I started asking for people who were in the program as well as people who had graduated alumni for their experience in different schools. And with that, I noticed I had the sense of what Haas was about, and the defining principles they were mentioning were really resonated with me, and they were really strong. It's like, I believe I will enjoy work and live for 2 years and learn in this environment. Another thing that attracted me a lot to Berkeley Haas, that's very specifically of me, it's that I have a passion for sustainability, clean tech, and Berkeley Haas has a program where you can specifically focus in that area. So it was a right fit for a lot of reasons.
Right. And of course, some of the schools that have reputations for finance, for strategy, for marketing, and, Haas, whether it's CSR, now ESG, clean tech, which has always been the focus of your career. How did it matter to identify that specialization, and how has that now played through in the next steps of your career? Because currently you're a co-founder of the Carbon Removal Centre out of the UK. You're an investor in all sorts of green economy related to projects. So what role did that specialization and strength at Haas play?
Well, a big one. Well, first of all, Haas specifically gave me the skills, not only the technical skills, but a lot of soft skills that I needed for a successful career in any type of career. Specifically in clean tech, the big focus and the quality of the professors you have focusing energy, sustainability, clean tech is super powerful. How I learned, I was enjoying learning how I learned. The professors were very engaging. They were there to answer all the questions anytime. And just like that engagement and that openness they had with us really made me enjoy more what I was learning. That was more important, very important. In terms of other ways of learning how to be good at what I'm doing now and the career I'm doing now, is the clubs I joined the network I had from Berkeley Haas alumni that I could reach out to, especially the ones that were in the Bay Area, which were even easier to have a coffee chat with instead of just a call. And that breadth of connections you can have and the events you can go and the people they can connect you with, it has played a huge role in terms of me understanding the breadth of things I could do within energy and clean tech. And then eventually, as I followed the career, going through startups to investment, that background at Berkeley has really helped me understand which areas are out there and which areas I can specialize in. And as I grew and changed my career, because it hasn't been linear, I've been with startups, as I mentioned, going to an investment side, and it hasn't been linear. So throughout these different steps, I was able to reach out to different people and different courses and topics that I've been learning and I've been able to connect via the Berkeley MBA.
Right. Now, of course, when you did the program, it was probably, about 250 students. Now it's 285, but that's still frustratingly small for over 4,000 applicants that would love to join the Haas MBA. But what does it then bring? It's one of the top schools, but has a relatively small class size. Does that really influence the culture of the school?
Oh, definitely. And I think like the four principles, as you mentioned, I hadn't mentioned this before, but like they're very stood out, like not only in the Haas people I talked to, but like when I was there, I really felt that the people they selected, the students that they had there, my colleagues, were really selected and handpicked based on their potential way of contributing to those attributes. So I had colleagues of mine who just offered themselves. I didn't know as well yet, other colleagues. And I was like, okay, if you want help in this certain topic or subject, I'm here to help you. I don't know you, but like, I'm really here. They were really there beyond themselves. Everybody was very eager to learn and be students always. And the reach I mentioned to you just a while ago about the professors and how open they are to help you out in any time of the day. It's how you see that you can really it's hard to explain. Like, you really need to be there to understand how the professors and the students and the faculty members, everyone was handpicked to be there.
It's only when you live it that you really get to understand that sort of interaction, the availability, and I'm sure, continuing now a strong network. As you then thought about, the MBA, were there any unexpected surprises at Haas, or even things that then, you learned about yourself that had nothing to do with discounted cash flow, but just, some in terms of your own personal development?
In personal development, well, I was mentioning the soft skills that I learned during the MBA, which I never thought would be the highlights of the things I've learned. Of course, I learned a lot of technical skills, but like the soft skills and the soft classes we had, be it leadership communications with Dawn Moore, power and politics and whatnot, they really helped me understand how important that is for you to build a career. Of course, you need depends of your career, financial, marketing knowledge and whatnot, but that soft skills is something that people define, like people work with you, and that's what counts a lot in terms of establishing relationships, doing businesses, completing deals, working with a team, and that surprised me a lot when I went to business school. I was not expecting that would be the main thing, and it really affected me in the terms of positive way, in terms of what I learned that I wasn't expecting. Right. And another thing that's very important was the FOMO, the issue with the FOMO, fear of missing out, because there's so many things happening during the MBA and life that you want to be almost in a lot of places at the same time. Right. And with the MBA, it's kind of hard to do that because there's a lot of things and a lot of them are important. But then with the MBA, I also understood that you really have to be present. When you are in a place, you cannot think about, okay, I'm missing that other thing or that other event or that other talk. You really have to be in the moment and be present. And that's how you take the most out of it. And that's something, it was hard to work around the first year because there were too many things. But on the second year, and gladly the MBA has 2 years at Berkeley Haas, you are able to already test and train that. And when you go out again to the workplace, I already was able to manage that way better.
Right. I guess you need your own source of renewable energy to be able to keep up with all the things that are on offer. Here we all are, of course, with the world turned upside down with COVID-19, and yet perhaps we mustn't lose sight of the bigger challenge of climate change, which has been the focus of your work. Just a final word for the role that you think a school like Haas and graduates like yourselves in the next generation can play to ensure that we're devoting the resources, the innovation, the ideas to one of the big challenges that the world faces today.
Well, basically, the first thing that you need is to use your voice. It's not just being silent or being out there, or just go along your way and think, oh, someone else will solve for it. Is that if you think something, if you believe that your community should be powered by renewables, for instance, you should be out there and putting your voice. Go to your regional events, talk to the people in charge in your municipalities, and really demand votes and do all other things like be vocal, participate in events that you think are relevant to you, that can change your life in a good way. In this case, climate change is a lot of different topics, and really demand that whoever is in power follows through their mandates. And if it's not you, who else will it be to be taking care of the future of your future and your kids' future? So be vocal, focus on learning. Like, don't just get information from wherever, like from the internet, just randomly. Just confirm where the sources of information you get are from, to be able to, whenever you read something, that is relevant, that is true, and you can move forward and demand for that. Right. And talk to other people. If you're interested, talk to anyone who works in this area, because we're all very eager to tell you what we experience and what we think it's best to do. So, for instance, reach out to me or whoever you think it's in the area that can take any doubts that you have in this area.
Right. Well, clearly the Haas MBA is an opportunity for individuals to find their voice. We're delighted that you shared your voice with us for this interview, reflecting on the MBA experience that you spent at Berkeley. So, Patricia, thank you very much. Continue to question the status quo, as your school would have you do, and we really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much. Cheers.